Skypiea is an arc that has a lot of controversy around it. One Piece fans come to say that it's a long and drawn out arc that was super slow and didn't get to the point fast enough. Well, I'm here to say that that is incorrect, and actually Skypiea was one of the greater arcs in pre-time skip. Now, this isn't to say that the other arcs like Water 7, Impel Down, and also Marineford wasn't up there in the best. I'm just saying Skypiea is heavily underrated, not just in the story aspect, but also in the way it is enjoyable. Let's first get into the reasons why Skypiea was important to the overall story of One Piece, even now almost 1,000 chapters later. The Skypiea arc marks the first time the Straw Hats face significant consequences for their actions. The arc shows the crew members for importance of taking responsibility for their actions and the impact of their choices can have on others. To showcase this, we can see when Luffy and the crew show up to the Sky Island, they first have to pass the gatekeeper, the old lady who takes a picture of them and now has given the crew bounty even above the clouds. They meet Conus and her dad. They'd become pretty cool with each other, but later the Straw Hats get found out and Conus and her dad get held responsible for keeping wanted people safe from Kami. The arc also provides significant character development for the Straw Hat Pirates. Each member of the crew learns important lessons about themselves, their goals, and their relationships with each other. This development helps to deepen the characters and make them more relatable to the audience. We get to see Zoro's extreme talent to get lost no matter the occasion on a big scale again, and it deepens the reason why no one can trust this fool with any task that has to do with directions. We also get to see each Straw Hat fight their own battles for the sake of each other's safety. Like Chopper fighting one of the pillars by himself is a pretty big feat, even though he was quite the airheaded opponent. Skypiea introduces the concept of Sky Islands in the One Piece world, and the arc provides a deeper understanding of the world's mythology, history, and lore. Additionally, the arc introduces several important characters such as Enel and Genfall, who play important roles in the future arcs. Since we have Nico Robin, we can see her try to discover as much as she can because no one in the One Piece verse can truly understand the history of Skypiea anywhere to the point where Robin can, since she can obviously read the poneglyphs and she respects the buildings with utmost respect. The arc takes place on a floating island of Skypiea, which is located in the sky above the Grand Line. The island is home to a unique culture of angel-like people called the Shandians, who have been in conflict with the godlike Skypieans for centuries over the island's resources and history. The arc introduces several important characters, including the enigmatic and powerful Eneru, who serves as the primary antagonist of the arc. The crew also encounters several new allies, such as the Shandoran warrior Wiper, who becomes a key ally in the conflict against Eneru. Skypiea is also significant in that it introduces the concept of Haki, a latent power that can be developed through training allows users to sense and control their own aura. This concept becomes increasingly important as the story progresses, and several key characters are shown to possess advanced levels of Haki. Additionally, the arc explores themes of imperialism, colonialism, and the impact of history on present-day conflicts. The conflict between the Shandians and Skypieans is rooted in a long history of violence and oppression, and the arc serves a commentary on damaging effects of these power dynamics. The Straw Hats' journey to Skypiea was no easy contest. They had to get shamed by pretty much the entire island of Jaya because they believed in a sky island that no one thinks is real, enduring the ridicule of Bellamy's crew at the bar for the expense of a dream. Luffy tells Zoro to not fight back because it's not worth it since he knows he can one-tap his goofy ass. So as they leave the bar, they encounter Blackbeard for the first time, and now we get to see his iconic speech.
笑われていこうじゃねえか。高みを目指せば出す拳の見つからねえ喧嘩もあるもんだ。なあおい。ぜはははははは。行くぞ。
Let's talk about a cool concept made by the people in Skypiea. Dials are mysterious and powerful objects that are often used as sources of energy or weapons. They are shell-like devices that can store various forms of energy, such as sound, heat, and even air pressure. Dials are harvested from the creatures that live on Sky Islands in the Grand Line. They are highly valued and are traded as commodities through the world, as they have a wide variety of uses. Some common uses of dials include creating explosives, enhancing weapons, powering vehicles, and even allowing people to fly. Let's get into what Mantra is and why it's the first form of Haki we get to see pre-time skip. Mantra is a unique ability that is possessed by the priest of the Skypiean people. It is the type of Haki, a latent power that can be developed through training and allows users to sense and control their own aura. Mantra, also known as Sky Island survival game, is a type of observation Haki that allows its users to sense the presence and intentions of others. By honing their mantra, the Skypiean priests can sense the movements and actions of others, even if they are out of sight or moving too fast to be seen. Mantra is a powerful ability that gives its users a significant significant advantage in combat, as they can anticipate their opponent's moves and react accordingly. However, it is also required a great deal of focus and concentration, and the user must be attentive to their surroundings in order to use it effectively. Throughout the Skypeian arc, several characters display advanced levels of mantra, including the primary antagonist Enel. Enelu's mastery of mantra allows him to predict his opponent's movements and launch devastating attacks with pinpoint accuracy. The backstory of Skypiea has an important element of Skypiea arc in One Piece. It sheds light on the history of the island and its people, and provides context for the conflict between the Shandians and the Skypieans. According to the Skypieans' legends, their ancestors migrated to Skypiea from the Blue Sea hundreds of years ago. They brought with them advanced technology and knowledge, and quickly established a prosperous civilization in the sky. However, their arrival also brought them into conflict with the native people on the island, the Shandians. The Shandians were a warrior tribe that had lived on the island for generations. They viewed the Skypieans as invaders and fought to protect their land and way of life. The two groups clashed for centuries, with the Skypieans eventually emerging as the dominant force on the island. The relationship between Nolan and Kalgara, two key figures in the island's history, played a significant role in shaping the events of the Skypiea arc. Nolan was a renowned explorer from the Blue Sea who visited Skypiea centuries ago. He formed a close friendship with Kalgara, the leader of the Shandians at the time. Nolan's visits to Skypiea were seen as a threat by the Skypieans, who believed that he was there to steal their treasure. They accused him of lying and fraud, and eventually executed him. Kalgara, who had defended Nolan and believed in his sincerity, was devastated by his death and vowed to never trust anyone from the Blue Sea again. The legacy of Nolan and Kalgara's relationship loomed large over the events of Skypiea arc. The conflict between the Shandians and Skypieans were rooted in centuries of mistrust and violence, with each side viewing the other as an enemy. The character Wiper, a Shandian warrior seeking revenge against the Skypieans, embodies this legacy of conflict and betrayal. However, as the arc progresses, the characters begin to learn the truth about Nolan and his intentions. They realize that he was not a thief, but a genuine explorer who wanted to learn about the island and its people. This realization leads to the shift in the characters' perspectives and ultimately paves the way for reuniting the Shandians and the Skypieans. I love seeing Kalgara open up to Nolan and understanding that he is indeed trying to help in any way he can. One of my favorite moments of this entire arc was when Kalgara finds out why Nolan and the crew had to cut down the trees that were supposedly their ancestors' guide back to them. After finding out that they didn't cut the trees down, they would have suffered massive casualties leading to the demise of the entire island. Kalgara runs to the ship to say he is sorry for mistaken anger, as Nolan and the crew is saddened by the fact that they think Kalgara will never know the truth. They part ways in tearful yet heartfelt see you later moment. But the most sad part was how they never met again, both dying in honorable ways, Nolan by execution and Kalgara by defending his homeland after being shot up to Sky Island. The climatic battle between Luffy and Enel in Skypiea arc of One Piece is a pivotal moment in the story that showcases Luffy's growth as a fighter and the significance of Enel's defeat. Throughout the arc, Enel is portrayed as an incredibly powerful and seemingly invincible antagonist. Additionally, Enel ate the Rumble fruit, which possesses the power of lightning, which makes him almost impossible to defeat. However, as the battle between Luffy and Enel unfolds, it becomes clear that Luffy has grown significantly as a fighter. He is able to anticipate Enel's moves and counter them with his own unique fighting style. He also uses his rubber powers in creative ways, such as stretching his limbs to absorb Enel's lightning attacks. The battle is also notable for the way it emphasizes Luffy's determination and never give up attitude. Even when Enel seemingly defeats him multiple times, Luffy gets back up and continues to fight, refusing to give up until he has won. The defeat of Enel is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it marks a major turning point in the arc, as it represents the resolution of the conflict between Skypieans and the Shandians. With Enel defeated, the Skypieans and Shandians are able to reconcile and move towards a more peaceful coexistence. Secondly, the defeat of Enel is significant in the context of the One Piece story as a whole. Enel represents a powerful and unpredictable force that threatens not just the people of Skypiea, but the balance of power in larger One Piece world. His defeat serves as a reminder that even the most powerful opponents can overcome through determination, skill, and teamwork. The Skypiea arc in One Piece is notable for its use of foreshadowing to set up future storylines and concepts in the series. In the case of Skypiea, there are several examples of foreshadowing that hint at a future storylines and concepts in One Piece. One of the most prominent examples of foreshadowing in Skypiea is the introduction of concept of Void Century. This refers to a period of history that is shrouded in mystery and has been erased from the public record. In Skypiea, we learned that the ancient city of Shandora holds the key to unlock the secrets of the Void Century, and that the poneglyphs scattered scattered throughout the world may hold clues to this lost history. This sets up a major storyline that is explored in greater detail in later arcs, such as the Water 7 and Dressrosa arcs. Rereading Skypiea gave me another look into what really makes One Piece so unique. Even early on in the story, you can tell it is going somewhere and it still needs time to unfold. Skypiea is the perfect way of showing how cool One Piece is. This is exactly why I love this series. You have no clue what's gonna happen next and where you're going. As a new viewer, anything is possible in your mind. Thanks for watching this video. Click on the screen to see more about Demon Slayer Season 3 and what to look forward to.